Good afternoon, everybody. It is July 17th, and I'm going to give you a garden tour today. This garden is by our back deck. I have a few weeds and mostly pretty plants growing. There's clematis and some black-eyed Susans and some monkey grass and moss rose. And these flowers, I don't know what they are except the cosmos, the bright orange ones. The yellow ones are volunteers from something I guess I planted at one time. And I don't know what it is. And then of course here's a bunch peony flowers. Some zinnias and cosmos mixed up. Beautiful big zinnias. And then I have my beautiful volunteer sunflowers. I plant them every year, and sometimes a bird or whatever will drop it somewhere, and I end up with them, and sometimes the craziest places, but I leave them because I like them. And then this plant here is what I call a butterfly plant. I'm not sure the technical name, and it goes all the way up the porch and making its way over. It is all the way across here, but it has a tough time getting up to the porch because chickens kind of trample it down. And here's some more volunteer sunflowers and some Russian sage and a mum plant and some chickens. This is where they like take a bath in there, where it's nice and cool. And there's my chocolate mint. And here is some orange mint. And then I have planted some tiger lilies on the side of the house. And then we will go around this way. Over there is a special garden I'll show you another time. All the way over there, that's the span of the whole garden area you're seeing. Everywhere. I just keep expanding every year. We are doing the backyard, in case I forgot to mention that at the beginning. This over here is work in progress. Eventually, around this area will be all rock, so I don't have weeds. And then of course I have flowers that have weeds mixed in around the edges. But this main garden right here is where we plant our pumpkins every year. And I plant petunias and marigolds in here to hopefully keep the bugs out. It doesn't always work. I have white pumpkins and the Jacoby Little pumpkins, medium size and large size pumpkins that are going to grow in here. And over here we have an area where the storm shelter is. Since we don't have a basement, we have a storm shelter, and my husband built these really cool steps all the way around that goes down in there. And this is not marigolds, morning glories. I don't like, they're not supposed to be growing there, but a bird dropped those off one year and here they are. But this is all my creation with all kinds of weeds that need to go bye-bye. And over here is another weedy garden I need to get the weeds out of, with some beautiful plants in there. Some phlox and some purple cone flowers. And I'm not remembering, some kind of a rose, but I can't remember. Okay, and over here is the pretty side, I think, of my flower garden. This is what I built first when we started a garden, was this for my flowers. All the rest of it came later. And then this is not supposed to have weeds right down the center here. It's supposed to be dirt, and I have some stepping stones in there, but you can't see them. And I grew some Brussels sprouts, but I really don't think they did good, so I just let them go, and I'm going to be pulling them out here pretty soon, feeding them to the chickens. And if I get closer, that's asparagus, and there's more of my middle aisle that's supposed to be dirt, and I have some mint planted in there, and I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I started that this year. And this is the rest of the flower garden here on this side of it. And then we'll move over here to my raspberries, which go all the way down. And if you look real close, they're getting ready to make again. So, oh, and they are making some pretty ones. Look at there. There's one. There's some more making. And see the... what do you call those things? I can never think when I'm filming. So, anyways, this is my raspberries, and I have some more regular mint right over here, and more of my raspberries. And then there's another raised bed of asparagus, which I need to get weeded. And this is a raised bed that has Mexican tarragon and mint in it, which I'm probably going to be changing this year. And then this vine that grows here is spaghetti squash that's not doing very good because of the bugs. They're killing it, and I have only seen one spaghetti squash growing this year. And over here I have some sunflowers that I grew in the garden behind us and transplanted over there to grow. And I planted watermelon over here, and I'm not seeing any other than right here, but this one's probably not going to grow because my wonderful chickens have taken a big old chunk out of it. You see it there? I can't tell. And then I planted more sunflowers that are coming up here for later. And then here's some catnip. And then over there you'll see my tall sunflowers growing. And in there is a tomato and some jalapenos and marigolds and cucumbers and cantaloupe. And the cantaloupe are really big and good this year. Look at that. Oh, isn't that just gorgeous? Oh my goodness. And there's a ton of them. And then for the first time ever, because I don't like it, I grew squash, but I have to get in here and pick them. Not sure when to pick them. I grow a lot of my plants, mostly for my chickens. There's a lot of mint around this garden also. And mint is really good to grow for, makes your coop smell really pretty, and it also repels rodents. I plant it around all my chicken coops to keep the rodents hopefully out. Okay, back to the garden. Now, here we got more, and it grew crazy. I can't remember how many plants I planted, but it was crazy. And then more of my cucumbers. I grew them a little different this year, so they kind of look like they're growing in like a teepee, if you can even see that. And then my jalapenos aren't doing good, too much water. And then I have this crazy grape tomato plant. I'll get myself out of that picture. And it's, I don't know, dying just like the rest because I have blight in my garden. And my beautiful sunflowers. My thing is sunflowers. I love, love, love them. And those I also grow, not only for me because I love them because they're so pretty, but for my chickens. And we have green beans here that the bugs have pretty much taken over. And a sunflower that fell over in a windstorm and is still growing where it landed. And we have a tomato plant that is dying from blight. It has a little bit on it. And there's a zucchini the plants are slowly killing. And more marigolds and some dill. And here's a bell pepper plant. I've gotten two off there. Look at that marigold. Isn't it pretty? Those I also grow for my chickens. They're really good for them. They'll also turn their yolks a brilliant orange color after they've eaten them. More sunflowers and more dill and another zucchini plant. And now we're back on the other side. I showed you first which is supposed to have a stepping stone middle to it. It used to be grass, so I changed it this year, and in hopes of being able to build a better fence to keep my chickens out, which you can see over there. I've got a fence to keep them out, but I don't want them out of everywhere because I want them to have natural shade, and I give them that. Here, the fence doesn't go the whole length of the garden. It stops here, and right here the chickens are able to get in here, where I have this here was actually a volunteer marigold that come up, and so was that one over there, and along with the dill, I didn't plant it there. And these, my sunflowers, are already turning, but here's one. It's called a teddy bear sunflower. Aren't they beautiful? They're so pretty. Look at here. Sunflowers will also keep certain bugs away from your plants that would generally kill, like a tomato plant or a pepper plant. The reason the sunflowers don't die is they're a little bit more hardy and they can handle the attack of the bugs. This is another side of that flower garden, which you're supposed to be able to see the ground right in there, but I have a lot of work to do, but you'll get to see the updates as I take care of that. And here's a chive plant I've been growing for a couple years, and that is a peony that I just stuck in here to see if it would grow. And there's another one, and the other side of my flower garden. And here's a very pretty, cool looking plant that I found this year. The sun's out in the wrong place. See, isn't that pretty? Very pretty. And we planted more of the chicks and hens out in this garden because they were starting to die. But eventually, this will all be all cleaned up and beautiful again. And it's, like I said, it's all work in progress, and it's really work in progress for the chickens. This is what I do for them. It helps them live a healthier, happier life, I believe, because they like all of the vegetables and the different flowers and herbs that I can grow for them. Now let's go back here towards the house, because I kind of missed one that I built a few years ago. It's not very big, and it doesn't really have much of anything in it. There's some oh, I can't even think of the name of that flower, but the cosmos in there, and then here we go with the light again. Right here is another bird bath, and right there, that little one there, that is for the toads. I've seen my cats and my dogs and my chickens drink out of there, but I put those out for toads because they need water too. And then I made this garden this year. I love that vining plant. It is so beautiful. But I haven't had time to really mess with that. So there is the garden and everything that's growing. Thanks for watching.